Welcome back, guys. So today I wanted to do a video on how you can find clay in your local area, what to look for, and just some tips on, how to make it a little bit easier finding it and gathering it and bringing it back with you, because if you're not prepared for it, it can be a pain. Alright guys, so here's my setup. Got a little hand shovel, buoy hat for some, sun protection. And in here I have a 6mm trash bag, and that's what I'm going to be storing the clay in as I find it. I find 6mm to be the best because you can keep reusing it. If there are sticks in the clay, it doesn't rip through it or anything sharp. It's super sturdy, you can keep reusing it. And obviously a backpack to put it all in. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. Alright, what's up guys? So the next thing, or the tip that I would give you, is to find a natural water source in your area. So this could be a lake, a river, a stream. It could even be the ocean, because I found like dark clay mounds on the ocean shore before. So you can even find clay there, but find a water source, and you can do this just by going into Google, typing up rivers near me, streams near me, lakes, whatever near me, or you can go onto Google Maps and you'll see blue lines, blue splotches of where these water sources would be around you. I forgot exactly what the filter is, but just play through the Google Maps filter and you can find it. So as you can see, I am at the river right now. And whenever you're at the river, I like to walk around the edge of the river to see if I can find any clay sources. And you can already tell that this clay is, or the soil around the base of the river is clayish. I mean, just right there you have a lot of clay looking sediment. Not down there so much, but right at the edge over here, there's a lot of poison ivy over here, so I'm not going to jump into that. So as you can see, what you want to try and find is soil that starts to create a smooth surface if you rub up against it. And this looks a little bit clayish because it is next to a water source, next to the river, but it's not the right consistency that I need yet. Ideally, you would want to be able to ball this up and then make it into a little worm or a little snake or whatever you want to call it. Just try and roll it up into a cylinder, and it should be able to hold its form, and it should be able to bend without cracking like that. So you can see that it does have some clay retention. It does have that retention in the soil, so it does have some clay in it. But I think I could find better. You're at the river already, you might as well look around, or whatever natural body source that you're going to be at. You're going to be there anyway, so you might as well find something a little bit better, because you can find better things than just this soil. But if anything else, if you don't find anything purer than this, then you can come back, fill your bag up, and you can process it accordingly to still get out a fine clay body to work with. So I ended up walking down the river some, and I found this stream here. It's a lot shallower, narrow, and I feel like it has a good area for me to possibly collect some clay. So around these banked in areas, these sloping areas here along the edge of this stream is where you would want to find your clay, and ideally this stream could get even lower, or if you felt like getting into this stream, you could grab clay straight from the bottom there. So I'll show you kind of what I'm looking for. So you can see people have been through here. Something's been through here to make these ridges and these high ridged areas that kind of hold their shape, and that tells me that there is a good amount of clay in the soil. So what I want to do is just do that test again, a field test, where you can tell that this is smooth too, so that's another good indicator. It's smooth, and when I wipe on it, it gets almost smoother. I can feel a little bit of sand in there, but pretty smooth overall. So the next test would be to grab it, and look, you can see smooth indentations in the soil, which to me indicates more clay. But ball it up, and you want to kind of make it into a little snake or a worm, whatever you want to call it. And this does have some organic material in it, so it may not bend as well. But first, check that you can make it into a snake and bend it. Still couldn't bend it without it cracking, but I do feel like this is some good clay here. Even though it did crack, I feel like if I refined it, it would definitely have the plasticity that I would want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to collect some clay, and yeah, I'll show you that process. So just trim across the top. See, if you get too deep, it starts getting a lot more sandy. So try and find the thickness level of clay and skim right across the top of it. That way you don't have to process out as much grit and sand and other stuff. One other thing, guys, make sure that the bag you're going to use is strong enough to carry the clay that you're going to collect, because clay, if you get it nice and fine from the river, it is very dense. So just make sure that you're aware of that and that your bag can handle it, because if it can't, it might rip on you, and that would not be a good day. So just another tip. Alright guys, I've got my haul back to the house, and I'm going to check to see if about how much I got for the trip, sitting at 182.8. Here's the bag. I'm just going to hold it. It's at 217. So I've got about 35 pounds of clay. 35 pounds of clay from one trip, not too bad. After I process everything out, maybe closer to 30 pounds. So if you guys want to watch me turn this wild raw clay into something workable using only a 5-gallon bucket and a makeshift sieve, then stay tuned for the next video and I will show you how to do it.